Hello, I'm doing another movie review with this guy who has done a couple of reviews with me so far.
Have I?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
What did we do?
Well, the last movie we reviewed was The Dark Knight Returns Part 1, which is part 1 of the two-part animated feature based on the Frank Miller graphic novel.
Yep.
So now we're reviewing the second part of that, The Dark Knight Returns Part 2.
Part dos.
Yes. Now this movie is based on the second half of the Frank Miller graphic novel, while the first movie was obviously based on the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Now this picks up right where the previous film left off. Now, in the previous film, Batman defeated the leader of a gang known as the Mutants, and after that the Mutants formed into a vigilante group known as the Sons of Batman.
Yeah.
But now in this movie, the media is going crazy over Batman coming out of retirement, and you have people on the news, like, arguing over Batman. Like, you have one group of people saying Batman is...
He's a crazy evil guy, and then another one's like, no, he's a great guy, and he's a vigilante fighting for our freedoms and the whole thing. Yeah.
Like, in the book, it went much more into that, because the book was very much a political satire. It was making fun of the media and things like that. The movie, you get that, but the movie does...
kind of get that, yeah.
But the movie does kind of oversimplify it a little bit, and it doesn't have as much of an impact as the book did. At least that's my opinion. Like, how do you feel about that, being that you haven't read the book?
Well, overall, like, satirizing, you know, the way people react to these kind of situations, the presence, the side characters, besides, you know, the main ones, you know, like Gordon, Robin, Batman, Superman, the whole nine yards. Besides the relationships between those four characters, I just thought that was just there, just to be there.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I did get the satire. It was funny at times and all, but like you said, it was lacking depth. And I didn't really care about that. Like, I thought the visuals were kind of funny, like the president looks like Ronald Reagan.
Well, he's kind of meant to... He's meant to look like Ronald Reagan.
Right.
Because the book was written in the 80s, so...
During the Cold War and the whole thing. But it didn't really seem impactful, really. Like, nothing really was impactful by the way people reacted until the power was lost.
That's my one complaint about these two movies, is the two movies, to me, almost seem to be kind of playing it safe a little bit compared to the book, where the book was a little less politically correct in certain scenes. The movie seems to be playing it a little safe. That being said, though, there is a scene where there's a character in this movie named Bruno who is pretty much a neo-Nazi, and she has swastikas on her tits. And she's in the book too, but I'm surprised that they added her in this movie.
To censor the animated nipples, they put swastikas in front. It's great.
Yeah, like, I'm surprised they kept that from the book.
I'm surprised that's in there. I'm surprised that got past the FCC. Bruce Timm, how'd you do that?
Yeah, because, like, I say that the movie's a little more politically correct than the book was, yet they still kept that scene in there.
Yeah, that was probably the most far-fetched satirization.
Yeah.
But I'll admit, it was funny as hell.
Yeah. But basically, in the movie, the Joker eventually gets released from Arkham Asylum. Well, he doesn't technically get released. He gets, his doctor manages to arrange... he manages to get him to be on a talk show host. Yeah. Which is, why on earth would you do that? Yeah.
Why, by the way.
But it doesn't end well at all. Now,
as you expect.
Now, I actually really enjoyed the Joker in this movie. The voice of the Joker is played by, Michael, that guy right there,
Michael Emerson.
Yeah, who was also in the first Saw movie.
Really?
Yeah, he was. He was also on Lost, and I really enjoyed his Joker. Like, he has more of a... To me, the Joker in this, like, in terms of his voice, is more of a subtle kind of approach than, I would say, Mark Hamill's Joker was.
It's like, I would say a higher... It's like Mark Hamill's voice, but doing it like the way Heath Ledger did it, in a subtle type of way. He doesn't really laugh that much. He's a homo.
Well, let's be...
Okay, yeah. I don't mean anything by that. I'm just saying that was his character in a way. But they kind of give him like a high pitch, somewhat stereotypical, you know. They gave him like a high pitch Mark Hamill-esque voice.
Yeah.
But settle in a way, and I thought it worked really well.
Yes.
And this is coming from one of Joker's biggest fanboys right here.
Yeah.
I was really surprised.
Yeah, the Joker I thought was genuinely creepy in this, and
he did a great job.
Yeah, but it was done subtly enough. Like, Mark Hamill's Joker, as much as I love his Joker, it probably wouldn't have worked in this story. At least I don't think.
I think the way they did him was actually really interesting and really perfect, actually, because I was on the edge of my seat the entire time, because in the beginning he's kind of like a lost puppet, like he's like gone, and then when he sees Batman, it's like a click. Oh my god, everything's starting to come back.
Because it shows just how important Batman is to the Joker,
and that whole complicated relationship, they need. It's funny.
They need each other almost.
Batman returns and then the Joker returns. It's like, that has to happen. And I will say, one of the things I really liked about this Joker was that, especially in the beginning when he was in that like mindless set, just watching that whole transformation when he does finally return as the Joker, and seeing it snap and the whole thing, I was on the edge of my seat, man. I was like, I thought he was like, maybe he was rehabilitated a little bit.
Well, I wouldn't say he was rehabilitated.
Well, he was lost, but I thought he was kind of like, I kind of felt like he did want to tell his story in a way.
Yeah.
You know, I thought he did want to do that, but then, lo and behold, the good old Joker came back.
Oh, and he came back with a bang, all right. Yeah.
Left a lot of smiles, as always.
Yeah. But basically, in the movie, you find out that Superman is now working for the American government, and for years, superheroes have been outlawed, with the exception of Superman. And Superman, and Superman in this movie and in the book as well is pretty much the government's bitch, pretty much. And the movie leads up to a fight between Superman and Batman because Batman is pretty much like, he's defying the government's authority by coming back, and the government sends Superman after him, which obviously we don't want to give away anything about the fight at the end, but it's a pretty epic fight, I think.
And the reason leading up to the fight is pretty good, too.
Yeah.
Why the government sends Batman, basically, is because they think that he killed you-know-who.
Yeah.
And it's a great scene.
Yeah. Like, the movie, it basically kind of makes Superman almost like a villain in a way. Not really, but at the same time, a little bit almost. Well, it definitely makes him somewhat unlikable.
Somewhat. It's hard to say, though, for me. I didn't really see it as him coming across as a villain. Because, to be fair, Batman didn't have to do what he had to do. You know, he didn't have to fight him.
Yeah.
But, again, Superman, I guess. No, you're right. No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because Superman could just tell the government to go piss off or whatever, and they can't do anything to stop him, so.
Yeah.
It's weird. That's actually one of the things I want to bring up. Like in the previous movie, this one suffers from the same, criticism that I have from the first part. Things I wish were explained a bit more. Like, I was interested in why the government has, or why Superman is being the government's bitch, basically.
Yeah.
And they didn't really explain it, did they? I don't recall an explanation. It was just
I don't know if in the movie, I can't remember if in the book they explained it either.
Okay. Because I kind of took it as, like, Superman doesn't feel like, even though he's Superman and he can tell the government to go, just try to stop me if he doesn't want to listen. I feel like he wasn't obligated or something like that. I don't know.
And Green Arrow also shows up at the end of this, which this is one thing that it's not really a complaint, but in the movie you hear Green Arrow's at the end scream, "Hi-ho freaking Silver," while in the book, in that scene, he screams, "Hi-ho goddamn Silver." It just seems a little weird that this movie would have swastika tits in it and blood,
but
they would censor goddamn in place and replace it with freaking. That just, I don't know.
Yeah. I would agree with you. But why not swastika boobs? I'm sorry, it's just so funny. That blew my mind. I did not see that coming at all. I know.
But overall, I think it's a very good animated film. So is the first one. Like, both of these together make a great, together as... If you were to put both this and the first one together as one movie, it's, to me, is an excellent Batman movie. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple things that aren't explained enough, if you ask me, on both parts, like the Superman thing, and maybe I was a little interested in, I guess I was a little interested in, like, what led Joker to be, like, completely mindless. I was kind of interested in that too, and how he got to that.
Well, I think it's because Batman
disappeared.
Yeah, and because of that, he had no point anymore, and then all of a sudden,
he just lost the will to, like, go on. I guess. Okay.
Because I think that's the whole point of their relationship. Yeah. Like, the Joker needs Batman almost.
Yeah. That's what I kind of got to. I would like to see it.
Yeah.
I would like to see it explained. But
not everything needs to be explained. You know?
Yeah. But the Superman thing, I think, should have been explained. I think that should have been a big part of...
yeah, that should have been explained probably a little bit better. Yeah. Now, if I were to have a complaint about this, it's not so much the fault of this movie. It's, I personally kind of think, like, The Dark Knight Returns, I think The Dark Knight Returns deserves a live-action adaptation, and I know Zack Snyder was interested in doing it, but if they were ever to do a live-action adaptation of The Dark Knight Returns, it would have to be rated R, in my opinion. It would have to be marketed to adults, because I don't think PG-13... I mean, granted, this is PG-13 too, but I think if they did a live-action one, it would have to be R-rated and marketed more towards adults. At least that's my opinion.
It's hard to say. If you ask me, it's hard to say. I wouldn't mind it. I would definitely be interested.
Yeah.
Will they go that far, though?
I don't know. Because I don't see Warner Brothers releasing an R-rated Batman movie. As awesome as that would be, I don't see them doing that.
Yeah, taking place in the Frank Miller universe. Because it seems like Frank Miller's Batman is a very dark Batman.
Yeah. Like, Frank Miller's Batman is definitely a little more militaristic. Like, definitely has more of a military kind of mindset.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Granted, I've only read 3 of Frank Miller's Batman comics. I've read The Dark Knight Returns, Batman Year One, and I've read the sequel to The Dark Knight Returns, The Dark Knight Strikes Again, which wasn't...
I saw Linkar's review.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. Well, I'm curious, if you look at both parts as like a separate thing, which one did you enjoy better, the first half or the second half?
That's so freaking hard. Why do you have to make me think this much?
I've been thinking about it the whole time, and I was just curious if you have an answer.
Well, do you have an answer to that?
I love both parts. And I don't want... I'm conflicted, because if you ask me, I'm going to say the second part.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the second part, but I don't want to sound like I'm biased because the Joker was in the whole thing. Because I am a big fanboy of the Joker.
I know you are.
Yeah, I just felt like the second one was better.
Okay.
I liked how the first one was kind of slower in pace and everything, setting everything up. And the second one, I felt the story-wise was grander, and I felt more into it in the second one, especially with the Joker. The Joker stole the show. Like I said, I was on the edge of my seat, and that sequence is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And that line that Batman says is great.
Yeah.
And then you think, how can this be halfway over at that point? That's what I was thinking. I'm being dead serious here. At that point, I was like, we're halfway through. Now Superman comes in, and now we have to have an epic fight, and then how that ending went down. I think the second one's better.
Okay.
I think it was a more entertaining movie. Story-wise, I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. When the first one, I was interested, and I was equally just as entertained and everything, but it felt kind of flatter than the second one.
All right.
It's hard, but both movies are incredible. Definitely check them out.
Definitely check this out. Like, I would say if you read the book, check this out because they are pretty faithful to the book. Mm-hmm. But even if you haven't read the book, as movies in general, they're pretty damn good. So that's our review on both The Dark Knight Returns Part 2, and check out our review on the first part.
Yep.
And see you all at a later time.